Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Lasho Fumi and I'm thrilled to have you here on this phone frames, tablet frames, desktop frames, and more. They allow us to resize and reshape our content. Understanding this basic will give you a flexibility to create a layout that suits our design goals. You can also create a frame by simply clicking here and dragging to drop. As we proceed into design, you will note how our frames can be used. A well-crafted landing page is like a digital handshake, and we're about to create one from scratch. Before we jump into the design, let's clarify the purpose of our landing page. Understanding the goal is the first step to a successful design. Let's take a moment to explore some inspirational landing pages together. What can we learn from others in the industry? You have to keep this at the back of your mind that inspiration is the key to crafting a design that stands out. You don't have to copy other people's design. You have to create yours from their inspiration. There are various places where you can get inspirations from. We have websites like Behance, Dribble, Uplap, Mobbing, and the likes. Let's explore Dribble and come up with an idea. Here on Dribble, I am going to be searching for landing page inspiration. We would be scrolling to check for suitable inspirations. Okay, let's keep scrolling. Okay, let's pick this. We would copy this to our Figma canvas. You can pick 2 or more inspirations to create yours. Let's proceed to the wireframing. You can choose to put pen to paper or rather cursor to screen. I prefer the pen to paper sketching. It makes it faster and very creative. Let's structure the outlines and key elements of our landing page. This is a crucial step before we dive into the visual details. We will start by creating a frame. Click on the frame icon here. Move to the right sidebar and pick any desktop frame of your choice. I will be going with the MacBook Pro 14. Note that the frame size doesn't matter. It just portrays how your design will look on that particular screen, be it mobile or desktop or tablet. After that, we would proceed to creating our grid lines. These grid lines will serve as a guide with our design. In the right sidebar, you can see the auto layout grid plus sign, the icon here. Click on this. You can see this icon. It's brought out a modal saying layout grid settings. Click on it. Come to this drop down here. Click on it. Select columns. This count, we are going to set it to 12 and margin 120. You can set yours to 100 or 120, even 150, depending on what you're working with. After that, you come to this plus icon again, come to this layout grid settings, your grid, then you set the size to 48. The size will be 48. I work with the 8-8 rule. This is the multiples of 8. Now let's name our grid. Click on this icon here and create style. Fill in the input here. You can change the name to web grid style. Then create style. So I'm going to be designing a landing page for a travel agency. This image here is just going to be our reference. So now let's begin our wireframe. After doing the grid, we'll make use of rectangles for our logo and other images. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to make the width 120, the height 60. Then I'm going to duplicate this. This will be our button, our get started button. So I come to text. I'm going to write what to be in the text areas. We have destination. I'm going to make this medium. I'm going to make 14. Let's make it 16. I'm going to duplicate this. Just know that your wireframe doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to be the digital structure of how your design is going to come out. details. Bookings. Restaurants. Then my login. My login is going to be close to my get started button. Log in. I bring this close and I arrange this for I duplicate this text again. I like duplicating text. Save me the stress of going up and getting a new text icon. Travel. This is going to be our header text around the globe and experience a full life. I'm going to make this bigger since this is our header text. I'm going to duplicate this, reduce the size, then I'm going to introduce my button again. My CTA, I'm going to make this 150 by 80. Now let's make it 200. Good. So our image is going to be in this area. I'm going to use a bigger rectangle for that. And here we are, our header. So I'm going to continue this design. It's going to be longer than this since I'm designing a full landing page. So I increase my desktop. Bring a text again here. scale this. I'm going to make this bigger since it's a title text. I'm going to make use of my rectangles again because I'm going to be introducing images here. It's longer. Duplicate these. I'm going to reduce this text because of the hierarchy. I'm going to centralize this. Because I'm going to put in them in cards, but since it's just a wireframe, so I'm going to frame these three together. Frame selection. Then I'll be duplicating this. So I'm going to proceed. I'm still going to make use of my big text, my header text. I'm going to duplicate this. Top destination. Centralize this. I'm going to bring in a rectangle again. I'm using my rectangles to portray images. Because I'm going to be introducing 3 images here. Top in this line. Bring in my text again. So I'm going to duplicate this into 3 places. I'm going to press my alternate key for your Windows or option key in your Mac So that's a shortcut. So I'm going to duplicate this, or you can use Ctrl D or Command D. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. Let's arrange this. You can see that I'm not exceeding my margin. This line and this line. Okay, so that's done. Let's proceed in the next step. I'm going to increase my frame. What clients say about us. So this is going to be the review page. I'm going to have to reduce this. I'm going to introduce a circle because it's going to be an image of someone. I'm going to make this 80 by 18. My text is going to be here. I'll bring this down a bit. Okay, let's design our footer. We're going to bring in our logo down to the footer. Company. I'm probably going to reduce this. Let's make it 24. On that company, we're going to have about us section. Booking. Reservations. And I'm going to highlight these 4 and reduce them. I'll make them 20. I'm going to arrange them. I'm going to frame. I select them, including the company. Then I right click and frame. So this is another way of using frame. Select all your variables, then right click to frame. So it does not necessarily mean you have to bring out a frame from your frame icon. I'm going to use contact. is going to be our L, FAQ, career, and these three should be enough. I delete this. So I'm going to introduce our social media integration. I'm going to use circle for demo. 80 for circle is going to be enough. I'm going to arrange them. Okay, so we're done with our wireframe. Let's reduce the frame to our size, to the size we need. So I'm going to remove the grid line so we can see our wireframe. Okay, here we have our wireframe. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a sketch of how your design is going to look like. So this is our wireframe. We're going to rename this wireframe. So we're done with our wireframe. Now we're going to proceed to our main design. So now let's make things faster. So I'm going to duplicate the wireframe. Ctrl D. I can choose to start afresh, like beginning the design again, all over again, but instead let's just duplicate the wireframe to make our work faster. So now let's start with the header. I'm going to start with the header. So what I'm going to do now is just basically editing. I'm just going to edit. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to come up with a name for the logo. Let's say Travelex. Let's go with this. I'm going to change this to landing page. I'm going to put on the grid so I can be guided. I don't want to make any mistake. This is going to be here. So I'm going to introduce a frame for my Euro text. I'm going to introduce a new frame. And I'm going to take it across. I'm going to make it longer in width, the same width as my desktop frame. So I'm going to do something now. I'm going to make this frame height 120. I'm going to bring it out. Make it white color. Grid. Grid style. Grid. So my travelers, I'm going to bring it inside the frame I created outside. So it's going to be here. Now let's use Lato as our typeface. Lato. I'm going to make this bold. I'm going to increase the height. 24 is okay. Okay, I did not introduce our colors, so let's introduce colors. I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Let's work with blue. Let's work with blue. This is a nice color. This is a lighter shade of blue. Now I'm going to rename this blue. You see the icon style. I come to this plus icon, new variable. I click on it. Then I create primary color, create style. I'm going to duplicate this blue, the same thing I did. I'm going to detach, make this white, so this is going to be F white, name it again, white. Okay, let's have a light gray color. I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to detach. And let's look for a light gray. I'm going to come here. Okay. Now, rename style. Light gray. Now let's go for our black. I'm going to detach this. Let's work with 1010. I don't like using black. This is 1000 shade of black. Going to be our black. Create style. So these are the basic colors we're going to be needing. I'm going to make this blue. I come here, come to this icon to pick my styles. So that's my blue. I'm going to highlight this. Remember, we're working with Lato font. Lato 916. I'm going to change the color to black. I'm going to add auto layout. Then make it 60. So now I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to centralize. So now my button frame. I'm going to make this 48. It's going to be in blue. I'm going to give a corner radius of 8. I need to type my text. Sign. Nope. It's gonna be white color. Lato 16, yes. So I'm going to centralize this. You can choose to use auto layout to make your buttons. Whatever works for you. Right. So lastly, log in. I'm going to duplicate this. Change this to black. Let's change it to blue since it's also a call to action. Log. I'm going to use auto layout for these two. Make it 24. And adjust this. Okay, good. So now this is done. I'm going to bring it back to my desktop frame. I delete this and I drag this into the desktop frame. Drag, centralize, and I take it, align top. I remove the frame, attach the frame. So we have it. Looks good. So this, we're gonna work on this. Change this to Lato. I'm going to change this to black. You can change this to blue and make it bigger and bolder. I'm going to change the font type. Blue. I'm going to make my text bold. I'm also going to do the same thing for this. Change this to Lato. Change this to black. So now I'm going to use auto layout for these boats to align their spacing. I'm going to make these 32. And I'm going to work on my button, the CTA. Let's work on it here. I'm going to create 3 buttons. $200 by 80. Change the color to blue. Give it corner radius of 8. Let's make it 16. So it can be rounder. So these are our text. Get started. I'm going to change our text to white. This. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to detach the fill, then introduce my stroke blue, change this text color to blue, so I'm going to introduce a third one. I'm going to detach my blue. I'm going to use a lighter shade of gray because this of blue. This is going to be an inactive button. Then the text color to a shade of gray. Detach this. Make the shade of gray lighter. I'm going to rename this frame 17. This is going to be my active button. Active button. Then the third one is going to be my outline button. I'm going to align these three together. I'm going to put them in a component. Create component set. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to copy, Ctrl C or Command C. Copy that. Come here. Then I click paste to replace. Place my button. Okay, the button looks big. Let's reduce them. So I highlight the three buttons. Let's make it 60. Okay, 60 looks good. And I'm going to add these three in an auto layout. Let's make 40. Good. I'm going to keep this aside. Okay. So this is going to be where our image is going to come in. So let's bring this out. Use this one down. Okay. So I'm going to be adding some things to the header to make it sharper, to make it finer. I'm going to introduce the circle. Blue, I'm going to make it blue. I'm going to detach the circle. I'm going to reduce the opacity. Let's make it 50. Then I come to my effect, layer blur, and I increase the layer blur. Let's make it 200. Okay, I reduce the opacity. Let's make it 30. And increase my circle. And layer blur, let's make it 300. Okay. Okay, looks good like this. So now let's introduce our image. Let's also just this. Right click, then send to back. I'm going to use my arrow button to align this to make it at the back of my text. I'm still moving it. page. Let's adjust this also. I'm doing this to just give the app a nice look, so it doesn't just look dull. Now I'm going to introduce the image. Let's look for an image. I'm going to go to freepik.com, freepik.com. So since we're designing a landing page for a traveling agency, let's use a lady with a traveling. So I'm going to be searching for a lady with a traveling bag. A lady with a traveling bag. I'm going to look for the one that looks creative. This would have been nice, but it's premium. We're looking for free images. Okay, let's make use of this. I'm going to download. So I'm going to remove the background because we'll be needing it without background. So you can remove your background from remove bg. Remove.bg. Enter. I'm going to upload my image. I'm going to copy the image. Right click. So I'm going to copy the image, copy, then go to our Figma file. Now I'm going to paste. Ctrl V or Command V. Okay, we're going to take our image to our frame. So our river section is not looking nice. We're going to give it some color. So let's add a circle. I'm going to make the circle blue. I'm going to bring in the image inside the circle. So let's add shadow down to make the image more realistic. And over. I'm going to reduce the opacity of this, then layer blur. Okay, it looks nice. So let's frame the circle. I'm going to frame them together. Frame. I'm going to align this. Okay. So our hero section is done. We're going to proceed. So I'm going to change this to Lato. Change the color to black. So I'm going to change this to a card form. I'm going to detach on group. I'm going to change this to Lato. I'm also going to change this to Lato. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to introduce a frame. So I'm going to introduce a plugin now. So plugins, they run in file we use plugins to perform one or more useful actions, and they allow us to experience or create more effective workflow. I'm going to introduce a plugin. There are different examples of plugin. We have Unsplash, Iconify, illustrations. I'm going to search Iconify. This is it. Then I run my plugin. So on Iconify, we have various icons here. So I'm going to search for hotels. Okay, let's use this. I'm going to make this 80 by 80. I'm going to drag this up. Let's give this frame white. Let's make it white. Let's introduce strokes so we can see what we are doing. I'm going to reduce corner radius. I'm going to increase the corner radius. Let's make it 16. Let's centralize this. So this, I'm going to take it inside the card. I'm going to put this in auto layout first. Let's put inside the card. I'm going to increase the length of the card. So this is where I work with my grid lines for direction. So I'm going to take this down a bit. I'm going to increase this to 100. Centralize this. So let's remove our grid lines. Let's close it to see our design. I'm going to copy this, copy to replace, and paste to replace rather. Okay, so now let's work on these cards. So I'm going to change the color from white to a light blue. Okay, I'm going to remove their strokes. And I'm going to add auto layout. Okay. So that's for this section. You can choose to add more information here. Add a little bit of shadow to make them pop. We're going to make this 2, 16. No, let's make it 8. Then this 15. So we're going to repeat it in the negative form. This is going to be -2, -2, 8, and 15. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we're going to work on the top destination. So we're going to be using our own Splash plugin. We're going to run the plugin. So I'm just going to right click. I've run the plugin earlier, so I'm just going to click on Splash. So I'm going to search for Paris. And let's just copy a nice image. Okay, let's use this. So just click on it, then it imports into your image on the file. Okay, good. So I'm going to give this corner radius of 8. I'm going to change this to lato. I forgot to make this semi-bold. So this to lato also. Change the color to black. I'm going to reduce the corner radius of the down parts of the image. I'm going to make it 24 to make it round. Okay. I'm going to copy this and replace with this. I'm going to put this in an auto layout. I'm also going to put in an auto layout here also. I'm going to make this 14. I'm going to make this card white, then put them shadow, two, 8, 15, 24 for the corner radius. I'm just going to copy this and paste to replace for this. Okay, there you have it. So we have our cards. So our landing page is already getting into form. Okay, now I'm going to proceed to the next stage, so the review section. So I'm going to increase this to 100. So from on splash, I'm going to get image. Let's check for the image of the woman. Okay, let's make use of this. Then I'm going to make this a frame. I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to pick this color. I'm going to give this corner radius of 16. I'm going to write my text. I'm going to reduce my text size 20. I'm going to make them black. So let's write a review. Travelex is a good agency and they have made me explore new places around the globe. So for the line height, since it's not going to be a one text sentence, I'm going to increase the line height and make it 24. You have made me explore new places around the globe. I am so excited and glad to have a go-to platform search as Travelex I'm going to write her name down. I'm going to write her name. Let's call her maybe Jane. Now let's make this 10. It's a little bit bigger. Make this blue. This light gray. Then we'll duplicate this. I'm going to putting them in auto layout. Neutralize. Now make it 4. Okay. I'm going to add this 3 in an auto layout. Press my shift key, then auto layout. Let's make them 18. Good. So this way you can be able to navigate the review. Let's add an auto layout to this. So for this section, I'm going to change this to Lato. Since it's a two-line sentence, I'm going to make this 46. I'm going to make it black. That's auto layout. Okay, so that's that for this section. Now let's move to our footer. So I'm going to copy our logo from up. Command C. I'm going to paste to replace here. So I'm going to align all these. I'm going to change the font. Macro. Changing the colors also. Black. I'm going to change this also to Lato. I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to do the same for this also. Lato. Change the color style to black. I'm going to work on this 3 also. Lato. Black. I'm going to put them in auto layout. Then the main frame to be in auto layout. And this also. So the auto layout is going to be 24. This is also going to be 24 to 4. So now time for the social media integration. You can also add some things in your footer to make it fuller, or whatever design of your choice you want. You can check for inspirations online, on Dribble, on Behance, on other places. So I'm going to get our social media integration. So we'll start with Facebook. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to drag this. So Facebook, Instagram, I'm going to copy this also. Let's check for X. I'm going to copy this also. And let's check for Behance. I'm going to copy this also. So there we have it. Social media. So now I'm going to work with this. So I'm going to make this light gray, light blue. I'm going to copy the Facebook inside. Make the Facebook bigger. I'm going to make it 40 by 40. I'm going to make it dark. I'm going to make it the primary color, sorry. I'm going to frame these two together. I'll centralize this. Copy. Paste to replace. I'm going to align these three together and change their width and height together. So this is 14, and I equally change their colors. So our primary color blue. I'm going to start copying to cut to replace, Ctrl X, paste to replace, Ctrl X, paste to replace, Ctrl X, paste to replace. I'm going to put this 4 in an auto layout. I'm going to adjust it. Note that your footer can be better than this. Since this is just a rush walk, your footer can be better than this. I'm going to introduce a line here, market the footer from the main design. I'm going to make this light gray. I'm going to make this 24. I'm going to put this in auto layout. I'm going to add all my variables in an auto layout too. And I'm going to make them 80. So now I'm going to reduce the frame length, frame height rather. Okay, looks good so far. Change this to black. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the landing page design for today. So in our next classes, I'll be taking you how to create interactive prototypes on Figma. We're going to be linking frames, we're going to add transition, and we're going to bring in out our static design into dynamic and interactive experiences. Here are a few tips and tricks I would like to share with you. Discover keyboard shortcuts and explore handy plugins that can skyrocket your efficiency in Figma. This nugget of wisdom will elevate your design game. Before we wrap up today, I want to challenge you. Take what you have learned today and apply it to a simple design experience exercise. You could design a landing page, an hero section, whatever choice you feel you can design. Just use this little knowledge you have gathered in today's section to design something creative. Kindly share your creations in the comment section. I would love to check them out and also provide constructive feedback. So that's a wrap today. We've covered the basis of design tools, and we have dived into Figma and set you up with a design challenge. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button so whenever a new video comes up you will see it. Thank you guys. Happy designing.